Hey everybody, welcome to an episode of the Daily D. Today's topic is the pursuit of perfection. How many of you, or how many of us, I include myself in this, have pursued perfection over the course of their life? The perfection can be different for all of us, but we all want perfection in some respects in our areas of our life. Now, I'll tell you, nobody really has that. Nobody ever will have it. But let me tell you what I mean is whenever you do something, you try to do it perfectly. I think most people inherently want to do things perfectly. They don't want to make a mistake. They don't want to trip. They don't want to fall. They don't want to stumble. They really just want to get it done as, to the best possible way. And as we all know, that's just never really possible. And what I believe is this notion that things can be perfect in life has been put in our lives when we were kids. They used to say, you got to practice makes perfect. Practice is what you need to do. And don't get me wrong, practice doesn't make perfect. It makes what we call permanent, which means you can't make a mistake. You don't practice till you get it right. You practice till you can't get it wrong. So, so what does this really mean about perfection? Well, if you're like me, I try to change things in my life all the time, like the way I eat, right? For an example, I would say, well, I need to give up this because it's just bad for me. It's not worth it. It's not good for you. Let's say it's called pizza. And, or in general, maybe I just want to eat better, right? So I say, I got to eat better. So what do? I eat a little bit more salad, a little bit more chicken, protein. I cut out the fries, I cut out the pastas, I cut all those things out, pizza, burgers, and I try my best to eat better, right? So we do that. And then one day, my wife or my friends or even myself, just by my own desire, say, hey, let's just go get a burger. And I mess up. And, I could have been going good strong for 4 days, 5 days, hitting that perfect eating regimen. And then all of a sudden I mess it up. And then what happens? I feel bad. I feel horrible. It was delicious, but I feel bad. And because of that, what happens is it sometimes it breaks my confidence, my self-esteem, and then what it really ends up happening is I don't follow through with what I was going to do anyways because I said, oh, I already messed up. Have you been there? I already messed up anyways. I might as well just keep going, right? I'll have a pizza for dinner now. You see how that goes? Well, let me kind of tell you how to combat this. Is I learned this from Tony Robbins. He said, hey, David, sometimes you're going to zig and some days you're going to zag. You can't shoot for perfection. You can only shoot for progress. You can only look for an improvement in your quality of whatever it is that you're trying to change. You don't have to shoot for the perfection of those things. For an example, you don't want to, you're not going to be the best salesperson in the world and you're not going to be perfect at it, but you can get progress. And how do you see progress? It's through measurement. You have to measure things. And that actually could be another video in itself, but perfection or progress is measured, it has to be measured. You can't just assume that you're doing better than you were yesterday. You actually have to take a measurement. And that's why dollars are such a good measurement. Not because money means everything. It's because if I ask somebody how they're doing, they could say, well, I'm okay. Well, let's count. We'll find out how good you're doing, right? We can count by sales. We can count by income. We can check your bank account. We can check your weight. We can check your calorie intake. We can check your fat. We can check your muscle. You see how you can check all these things, and because you can check them, those are measurements, and because we can measure things, we can see progress. So somebody could feel like they're doing good, and then really they're not. So let's get back to this perfection thing. If you want perfection in your life, I'm sorry, you're never going to have it. But I can tell you that you can always have progress. So don't be discouraged by one bad day of no sales, one bad day of not eating good. You can always get back up and keep going. The coolest thing about being on the floor or on the bottom, as long as you fall on your back, you can always look up and you can always go forward. You can always do better. That's the life that we live, and the moment that you say, I'm going to turn over and lay on my stomach on the floor, well, you've given up. Progress doesn't come to those who give up. Progress comes to those who keep moving forward, who look for the next thing, who say, you know what, I made a mistake today, but I can do better. You don't have to finish life the way you started it. You don't have to commit to the things that you committed to 2 years ago. Don't have to be the same things today. Progress is the key, not perfection. So progress equals happiness. I wish you nothing but success, health, wealth, but most importantly, freedom. Have a great day, guys.